Sabers. Hello, United Backyard Cutters and other sword enthusiasts. Today we're going to have a look at this, which is the French Hussar Saber, and it comes to us from Cult of Athena. The Hussars were cavalry, a light cavalry. They originated in Hungary and in about the 15th century and migrated all over Europe. Brigades of Hussar cavalry were used all over Europe in many campaigns. This reproduction of the French Hussar Saber is typical of what the Imperial Guard, Napoleon's personal Imperial Guard, were issued. They were the ones he called his cherished children, and they accompanied him on many campaigns. This is very typical of the sabers of that time and that era. Brass hilted, lots of brass on the scabbard, as you can see, dual rings for hanging. I've actually researched a few of these, of the authentic ones, which range up into close to $10,000 for good existing pieces. This copy, this replica, is actually very well done. It's high carbon steel. They don't specify what steel it is. They say that it's tempered high carbon steel. I would assume it's 1065. Just an assumption, I could be wrong. The blade is typical of a saber blade. Very long and curved. Sabers were designed to be used from horseback. Many later sabers were two-sided. Some were much straighter than this, but this is typical of the Napoleonic War, 1793 to 1815, in that era. This even has the maker's markings on it. Klingenthal, it says on the spine of the blade. It has some maker's inspection marks on it. Very well done to make it more authentic, and it's functional. It's a full tang, peened pommel. There's a wood core grip. It's leather wrapped, and it has this nice brass wire wrap. This whole design with this piece, it's a very well done reproduction, actually. These come unsharpened, but you can pay a small fee to Cult of Athena, and their people will put a nice edge on it. This has a very nice edge. It's no secondary bevel. They've kind of gave it a nice apple seed shape to the edge. There's not much of an edge because of this huge wide fuller that goes across the length of the blade here, but the cutting edge has a nice taper to it, nice apple seed, niku for you Japanese enthusiasts there. The scabbard as well has wood core. There's some leather wrap in the middle here, and then all this brass, and the name of the end here escapes me, but it's very thick and heavy. And there's a leather gasket under the hilt here at the end of the blade to so this doesn't have such a harsh spot to sit on right there. The Hussars of Napoleon's era in France were actually the originators of the art of sabrage. This is where they take the backside of the sword, they slide it down the neck of a champagne bottle, snapping off the entire top of the bottle, and pouring the champagne. This sword is it says 2.8 pounds, but I'm gonna weigh it just to check and see what it is. It feels a little heavier than that to me. Overall length 39 5/8 inches, just about 40 inches. And the blade 33 3/4 inches. That's a pretty big piece. It's very nice. I guess they had to have that kind of reach riding from horseback, so I don't know a real lot about the use of sabers. I know that they also use sabers in a dueling fencing fashion. There's quite a bit of history of fencing with sabers. But typically they're used by the cavalry, the light horseback. If you go to the Cult of Athena website, click on New Products, you'll find this line of swords under Universal Swords is the brand. And Cult of Athena is carrying that brand of swords now. Universal Swords make this and a whole pile of really interesting pieces there. Fairly new as far as I know. You might want to go and check them out. There might be something there that really catches your eye. And we're going to go out and try a little cutting with this and see how it performs. There you have it. The French Hussar Saber comes to us from Cult of Athena. I'm pretty impressed by, I figured it would easily cut the jugs, but I'm actually pretty impressed about how it went through the mat there. It hadn't soaked very long and wasn't quite prepared as much as I'd like to, and I have little or no skill with one of these as I've never used one before, so you know, somebody who's more into that genre of swordsmanship, the sabers and stuff, might be able to do a little better job than I did. But anyway, there it is.